Hello, Jan. Jan, this is just an alternative idea to what you've got at the moment. So I hear what you say about saying video at the top, so people know it's a video, obviously. But what I would think is because people follow you and they like what you write and they like what you say and they like what they see, they're going to read it anyway. I think the main thing is to get an attention-grabbing headline that's something to do with the post itself immediately without saying the word video. But obviously all of this is just ideas, Jan. So you've got the headline here, and then again here you've got the headline repeated again with your URL here, well, your domain name here. So personally, you don't need to have two headlines. It's like the Daily Mail tomorrow having a headline, Boris's head explodes here, and then you're having a picture here that says Boris's head explodes. They would just have one headline. So think of it as a newspaper. Underneath on a newspaper it will be our correspondent Jan Normanton and the date. Then the article would start, and then somewhere in the article there would be another picture. So as I scroll down underneath your main picture here, you've got a video. Now again, the video, it looks with you looking down at the screen. So we need to change that, and we need to fill the gap here and fill the gap here. That's why we need to have the video as a landscape and not a portrait. And then the text here is the body of the text. So what I've done, I've just sort of reimagined it. So I think the title text is too big, but again, it's all just personal choice. Your name here, so I would put a space in between it here, August 26th, but I definitely put a space and capitalise the J and the N. And then because you've got a great speaking voice, Jan, I would upload a sound file or use a sound processor like SoundCloud to host all your audio podcasts. So if people just don't have the willpower, because people just don't anymore, to read a blog, they can simply click this and the podcast will open with you just simply speaking it. And then if I go back to here, I've given a subtitle to if we want to manage the content of our minds. So I've put as a subtitle like a newspaper would have or a magazine article in a smaller font, if you want to manage the content of our mind. And then this is just a stock photo, but I would see this as a picture of you next to the lakeside. Put the camera on a rock. You've just had a swim, feeling full of life because you've embodied what you're saying. You've got into your body. You've gone for a swim. You've gone for a walk. You're practicing what you preach. You sat out here, something like this. Again, just think this could be you or some image of where you've been swimming, Jan. Again, this is just all made up. If you can see through what I'm trying to say. And then where it says watch now, if you click that, then the video would open. And this would be a picture of you again with the sea behind you, the lakes behind you, smiling at the camera. Again, I didn't have time to find the picture of you, Jan, so I've just used a stock video. So this would be you. So rather than have the video show you facing down like this, it's not that it's not appealing, Jan. It's just, you get what I mean. There's lots of space here, and there's just this picture of you here. Not looking that interested. So if we go here, this could be a picture of you after you swim, bursting with energy, smiling at the camera, and then when people press play, then you start.
The mind can be a runaway train at times.
So I'm not going to play that, but that could be watch now. So people could either listen to it, read it, or watch it. At the moment, you're giving them the option of everything apart from listen to it. And then I would continue down here. Then where there is something I want people to carry on reading, I've just made the first sentence bold and then just indented the text here. This is where our agency lies, just to make it look interesting, to get people to read it. The whole point of writing this is to get people to read this, so people scan it straight away and say to themselves, have I got the time to read this now because I'm very, very busy? So if they read these two things here, they've half read it now. So because they've read this and this, they're going to read this and they're going to read this. It's just sort of a psychology that newspapers use to get people to read everything without having a page of text that's all the same. So does that make sense, Jan? This is what I would do. And this looks, I know it looks, God, how do I do that? It is so simple. This is made in Canva. This links to a page. It pops up. I've just written some change here, all change. Again, a title and a headline, and then I would pops a button under here. Discover what embodied coaching can do for me. And at the bottom here, discover what embedded coaching can do for me. So that's a nice little sales pitch into getting you more business. So I hope that makes sense, Jan. Let me know.